How's it going, Sha?
Uh, uh, um, well, fine. Um, fine. Ultimately fine. As I say almost every week. Ultimately fine. But,
Okay.
as you know, the Mercury, as you may or may not know, Mercury's in retrograde. And so that's when things go a little haywire. And
Sha, just so you know, I assume it always is.
you know what?
Okay.
Honestly, that's that's the safest thing you can do.
Real talk. Just like as a general precaution,
Mm.
like I start my day, Mercury probably retroing again. You know what I mean?
It's, honestly, and I know I mention it all the time, partially because it feels like it's in retrograde all the time, but, it really is of all of the astrological things. I just, I not that I gravitate to it, because who likes chaos? I don't like chaos, but, it has improved my patience so much,
Oh,
because you have to be patient. So, like at my day job yesterday, a coworker came up and said, "Oh, the toilet in that particular bathroom is every time you flush, it sprays water out the back of the tank." And I went, "Huh, that's weird." And he's like, "Yeah, you should shut it down and get someone to come out and look at it and blah blah blah, like get on it." And I'm like, "It is 15 minutes until closing time." Like, I'll get on it, but no, I'm not putting up caution tape right now,
Mm-mm.
just pee in a Gatorade bottle in your office or something in the meantime. Um, but I did go in there and look, and it's some sort of newfangled toilet that has a tank, a normal tank, but it has
Okay.
like a black thing inside the tank that I guess is where the water goes in. So when you open the lid of the tank, you don't actually see any water. And
Okay.
there's some sort of weird apparatus on the inside because I was like, I bet I'll go in there and I'll see what it is. I'll jiggle a thing or I'll stick some rubbery thing in the hole tighter. I'll close up a seal. It'll be no, but no, it's some weird newfangled thing where I was like, God damn it, I do have to call someone. And I was just like, you know what? This will be fine. Which is not the case. That's never been the case with the toilets in my office. When one goes, the rest of them are like, "Solidarity, sister," and then everybody's peeing at the Le Pen Le Quotidien. And,
I know the toilets was union over there, but yo, that's
yeah,
what's up.
apparently they are. Also, because it's an old building, we can't use newfangled, like, water-saving toilets, low flow toilets, because
Okay.
they don't have the force to send it through them old ass pipes.
Okay.
You flush it and they're just like, "Flush,"
Oh
and
yeah.
that's not enough because these pipes are like, "No, you gotta show me who's boss."
Hell
So,
yeah.
a couple of them, we do have the low flow ones, but in this one in particular, this is one of those where when you flush it, it's like, "Ah, flush," and it's not it's doing it, but it's so wound up, it's just spraying water. I'm like, "Oh, boy." But instead, I just took a deep breath and I'm like, "Okay, we'll call someone, we'll figure this out."
I gotta tell you, there's an opportunity here, Sha.
What's that?
I would love for you to author a self-help book where Mercury retrogrades around you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like a general philosophy of like the zen that you can achieve if you understand that things are gonna go wrong around you, you know?
You know what? It would be a pamphlet. I'll tell you why. Because astrologers tell us this, right? They're like, it's really a time for reset, which is like, I think the rebrand. I think that's Mercury rebrand, where it's like too many people are onto the fact that when I look like I'm moving backwards, I'm really fucking shit up. So I need a rebrand. So Mercury himself went somewhere, was like, how do I rebrand? And someone's like, say it's time for people to reset and center themselves and be calm around all of the wackiness going on around them. And Mercury's like, that sounds good.
I like that.
Yeah, good for you, Mercury. I'm not resetting though. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
shouts
still
to your
angry.
publicist, Mercury. Well
Yeah,
done.
Mercury. Yo, look, if we all had the publicity that Mercury has, think about it. You don't need people to pay attention to you all the time, but you just poke the bear 3 or 4 times a year.
You
That's all
killing it.
you got to do. And
That's
now
it.
I talk about you constantly. Other people are like, "Oh, I'm not into it." Well, you're still talking about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yo,
whatever. Mercury's got us.
straight up. Jay-Z
Yep.
only drop an album once a year. He figured it out. Know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
true.
Mercury on that same shit. Okay.
Only
That's
without Jay-Z's usually without the chaos, I think. Except unless you want to count his hair. His hair is chaotic. It's
yeah.
very
Yeah,
it's
I don't know what's behind this decision, man. I feel like it's a lot. I don't know. It doesn't look. I don't know what. Something about it just seems wrong to me.
well, it's a wig. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that could be.
Allegedly, don't come after me with your goons, buddy. Don't go stabbing me in the leg at the club. But I'm just saying, let's not forget his roots. But speaking of roots, probably a wig. Probably a wig. Got himself a little Basquiat wig. And also that for a while, that's what the young men were doing. That whole I'm gonna let the dread decide how it wants to nap up kind of look was
Okay.
what was popping for the past I'd say like 5 years. There was a lot of that. And so I feel like Jay-Z was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll grow dreads, but they're not gonna be like, you know, organized or in like segments or anything like that. They're just gonna be like free flowing. But I'm like,
Nah, it's not him.
nah, I mean, it's yeah, I'm not sure I buy it, and I've seen it for a while, and I'm not sure I buy it, and it also feels like he's not really getting down to business unless he has a shortcut. You know what I mean? And I mean, look, people change all the time, but I unfortunately just feel like, he's just talking bullshit until he cuts that shit off
Hmm.
or takes it off or whatever. I mean, there are no real good I mean, there might be some good ways for black men to hide that they're, balding or anything like that, but I don't know if anyone in the public eye has really figured it out because either you look like a term I like to call bullet head, which is where your whole head is painted like a bullet, you
Okay.
know? Steve Harvey before he finally shaved that off, that
Okay.
kinda thing.
Okay.
Or, or you're like Jamie Foxx, who just can't decide where the hairline's gonna fall. Every movie, it's a different you just
I've
you
seen movies where like I feel like it's touching his eyebrows. Like you went
yeah,
too far the other way, my G.
it's touching his eyebrows, and it's only, like, 3 or 4 inches long, and then it's all down, and I'm like, "What's happening here?" But, I
Yo,
mean, I think he's probably a lovely individual, but I don't know what's going on with the hairline, and, I mean, I don't think about it too much, but when I see it, I'm like, "Huh." We
mm,
haven't but, also, I think we're just not necessarily looking at m for men to, like you know what I mean? It's like we're just assuming that all hair situations for men, in order for them to be fixed, they have to look terrible. Toupees have been terrible forever.
right.
Plugs look like tic-tac-toe on the head. You know what I mean? Like, there's no real way, and I guess Jay-Z found a way of just like, "What if I get dreads, but, like, dreads with a Z?" So, you know, legally, you can't call them dreadlocks if they're not spelled correctly.
That's fair. That's
Because
fair.
that's what they do with wings with a Z. That means I mean, it's chicken, but is it a wing if it's spelled with a Z? I don't know if you knew that, everybody, but
It's like when you give vegan chicken, they leave out the vowels, you
yes,
know?
exactly. So
Okay.
legally, yeah, so these might be like Jay-Z's dreads with a Z, but, I mean, the
You
only issue is that they look wild on him. They
I
look
mean, I'm
wild.
thinking about it now. Now that you're selling me on it, I have to say. Because like I'm thinking of like men with power in the
Mhm,
past in this country. And like in Britain, like they would wear like wigs in court. So
mhm.
this is like him doing his wig. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's perfectly look, when he is
Yeah.
playing the role of Jay-Z,
The
that's part
billionaire.
yeah, this is part of the drag, right?
Yeah.
So, the Jay-Z that we know, um now sports Basquiat hair because he buys artwork, right?
Right.
So this is the Jay-Z that we know. But we don't know Sean.
Word. He
Sean
sold
comes
us for a few
home.
albums too.
Yeah, he takes that thing off. He, puts it over the fridge or some shit. And then he
Hangs it up next to his keys.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
And then he grabs an Ensure out the fridge and he sits down and them little kids run over him and he's like, "Oh boy." And he eats a little prepared frozen meal or something, because as we all know, Yonsei can't cook. She said it herself. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. That bitch said it herself. She can't cook. Probably my favorite thing about her is that we can sit around and not cook together.
Hey, you bond over what you bond over. It's beautiful
That's
right
right.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely think Blue Ivy regularly like asks him about his hair. Like I actually think every time Blue Ivy got in trouble in public, it was like something about that. Like, yo, dad, why you got that on? And he was just telling her, like, yo, hush, okay, I'll tell you at home. We talked about this, okay? Because they're used to seeing him like, bald at the crib. You know what I mean?
So you
That
think,
makes so much sense to me,
honestly,
Like I don't wear shirts around the house around my kids. You know what I mean? But I'm a big dude. I wear shirts when I go out, okay? You know what I mean? But like I'm sure like when my kids were like 5 and like company would come over, they would find it weird that like I would go put on clothes.
right. Yes.
And they pieced it together like, oh, okay, this is like, dad could be in boxers around the 3 of us,
Right.
but not around company. It's appropriateness,
Yes. Yes. Okay.
That's like what Jay-Z's doing.
What what is that house like in those kinds of instances? I mean, they're people, right?
Yeah.
So they have that kind of thing. But like how is Jay-Z like explaining that kind of thing? Like, hey, sometimes when daddy goes out, he's got to put on hair or or he's got to, occasionally we all have to dress in the same color tone because your mother has a work thing, and the work thing is like the Grammys. You know what I mean? Like, what is that?
That's beautiful. I don't know how you do it, but I want that problem. Oh, that's so freaking weird.
Yeah, just like how do you explain that to, yeah, just the training, like did the kids get
They got to get media training, right? Like you got to know how to act in those
Yeah.
because
I
like
mean,
it's not even just like saying like you have to like they have to have a certain aura of cool even at their age already. Like you can't just be a regular kid around those two.
right, which I mean, I guess that the way that they live their life means that they probably don't live the way the rest of the world lives, but you still want your kid to be normal or regular or something. So there have to be some elements of it, but like is there a red carpet like training session in their house? Do you know what I mean? So like here's how we are when we go to, you got to come with me to work and we got to walk this thing. Here is what that looks like. So let's practice. When they yell your name, where are your angles? You know what I mean? How do you
Stop sucking your thumb, okay?
Right.
You've been over
Yes.
this.
There's no way that she has 3 kids and not one of them sucks their thumb.
That's what I'm saying. It's too many. Like they gotta have regular people problems.
Yes, absolutely. What do regular people problems look like in their house? I will say, uh, wait, what will I say? Yeah, it's gone now. Menopause took that thought right out of my head. Menopause just yanked it out of my ear. So I don't know. It'll come back in the middle of the podcast. I'll go, my point, and then I will.
Yeah, you know what Yeah, I wonder what it's like when Solange's kid visits.
That kid has his own kids, don't he? Isn't Solange a grandmother? Let me look
Is
that
she?
up right now because I am talking reckless. And if this gets, if this gets to her, she's going to go, who? And then whoever told her is like, You don't need to worry about it, and, I mean, they're right.
Now
Right?
I'm just
'Cause
because like I know my kids, like there's like I would say on my wife's side of the family, my
Mhm.
kids are the regular kids.
Mm.
And when they visit some of their cousins, they realize like, oh, we got it good. We've been complaining too much. Um and like they'll see like weird quirks that their cousins have, and
Right.
they realize like, oh, like I'm not gonna yell about my sister anymore because like she's awesome by comparison to these two kids.
Yeah.
And like they realize that about each other. And then by the same token, in on my side of the family, in particular, my dad's side on my side,
Mhm.
they're the weirdos.
Mm.
Like my kids, because like my father's side of the family, all of like the kids their age and all of my cousins, they're like outdoor freaks and shit. So like when like I was diabetic, they were like hiking and shit. So they took me on like nature walks. And like I invited my kids with me, and like my son and daughter was so anti this shit. They were like, so we just walking like for fun, like we just outside, like where we going? And like my cousin would be like, no, like this is what we're doing. We're just walking around the park. And I'm like, and like my daughter was so like, but like towards what? Like what's the end? Where are we ending this?
Your
Yo, like
daughter's like, "What's the end game here?"
yo, hiking frustrated my kids so much, like as a concept. And like I know that that's like how my whole other family functions.
Mhm.
And like they were trying to incorporate me because it was for my health.
Right.
And like I realized like, yo, like I have like not distilled this as a life philosophy to my kids at all.
But
And they
is it
stood out.
part of yours? Is it
It's not.
something
But I'm the weirdo of those cousins because of that. They all do that stuff. All of
Okay.
my cousins on that side are like active and all. I don't do that shit.
Right.
Like I'll meet you at the park. I'm gonna be on this bench the whole time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Do your
So
thing.
then so then those apples didn't even really fall.
Nah, but like I know that when my kids, when we hung out, like I could see their kids, like, yo, why these kids being weird? Like, why they keep sitting down? You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
like I feel like Solange, her kid, when she hangs out with Jay and Bay's kid, she must be like, yo, these dudes is off, B.
No, see, she just has her son, and her son is 18.
Oh, okay, so he good money.
She had that kid, pretty young herself, so, really, they're growing up together. It's a real Gilmore Girls situation over there in Solange's house, I think.
Oh man, that's what's up.
So, yeah, so, no, I mean, those kids don't wanna, um they're not hanging out
Nah,
with
he's
their
a
cousins so
babysitter.
much. Yeah, if that, yes,
Straight up.
exactly. Yeah, for
Oh yeah.
sure.
They see that dude twice a year. Like, oh yeah, I forgot we had that cousin.
Right, yeah, exactly, their main cousin.
Oh my God. Yeah, okay. Um
I don't know how we got here.
I never do, Sha. I never do. I can't trade.
I have to
Mercury retrograding.
Oh,
Okay.
right. I do and I don't know if this is egotistical or really more of an informational thing, but I occasionally have to go back and listen to our openings because I have no idea what was said, and I'll get messages where people are like, "Ah, you said this thing in it, blah, blah, blah," and I'm like, I said what?" And I have to I have to go back.
I'm worse, Sha. I don't remember, and I edit the episodes. I heard this
Right.
shit like 4 times, and I still don't remember what the fuck we talk about. It's terrible. I'm with you. I don't know. It's a weird like podcasting paradox.
Mhm.
You say it, it's another person. I feel like podcasting is like just a level. It's like right in between dreaming and being awake. Cause like you don't remember your dreams for like a certain amount of time. I think it's like that. Like it's you,
Uh-huh.
it's accurately you and how you feel, but you're
Right.
only gonna remember it for like 10 minutes after the podcast.
Okay, I see that, I see
You know what
that.
I mean?
Yeah, well, the only difference there is that a dream will completely fade away,
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if I got messages from my dreams,
So why you got 4 arms yesterday, Sha? You know?
just like, oh no. Because I will remember my dream for up to an hour after I've woken up.
Oh, that's solid.
Yeah, yeah, like from 30 minutes to an hour after I've woken up. But, then unless it really, really affected me in some way, it'll just kind of float off. But that's the last thing I need is somebody in the middle of the day to send me a message about how much my dream touched them, and I'm like, "Oh, no, what did I do?"
Listen, we trying out here, okay?
Mhm.
Doing our best. But Mercury retrograding in our brains regularly, okay?
A lot of communication problems.
That's it.
Just be patient, everybody. There's a lot going on and a lot going wrong, but just be patient.
Big facts,
Um,
yo.
like, the day that we're taping this, I don't know if you saw this on Twitter that they had to cancel all flights until 9 AM because of some FAA, like, ground control, like, air control or ground control had to cancel flights.
No.
All of the flights.
Yo,
All of
that's
the
wild.
Yeah, yeah, you should look that up. Imma try
That's crazy. I know
cancel.
I was gonna give you kudos for like because you made the executive gambling decision for us to talk about the Speaker of the House thing
Oh,
for
right,
the
right.
bonus episode. That's like a week early. And it low key almost lasted the whole week.
It almost
Like,
did.
yo,
It really did.
I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be current when we put this up. Nah, it was still like popping.
Yeah, yeah, like they had just yeah,
Yo,
by the time our, yeah, for sure, because it was
he'd
only
been like
like
in
the
office
weekend.
one day. Yeah. Like,
Us, no
that's
weekend,
just
yeah.
bananas. Y'all was like, oh shit, yo, Shy go call us.
I mean, not for nothing, but I just don't trust our government.
Yo.
That's all.
Apparently neither does our government.
Yeah,
Yo.
so oopsie.
Go figure. What we gonna do? Okay. Is what it is. Let's get into the news.
Okay.
Uh, Bed Bath and Beyond reportedly plans bankruptcy. Yes, as meme stocks crashes amid substantial doubts, the business can continue. Bed Bath and Beyond is reportedly preparing to file for bankruptcy in the coming weeks as the struggling brick and mortar retailer faces persistent economic challenges plaguing efforts to turn around its business, further piling on to the abysmal losses for a stock that more than tripled amid retail trading mayhem during the pandemic. Bed Bath & Beyond is in the early stages of readying a Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing that could come within weeks, according to the Wall Street Journal. The report comes after Bed Bath & Beyond shares crashed nearly 30% last week to 169, pushing shares down to lows last seen almost 30 years ago after the firm warned recurring losses in its latest quarters. The retailer said it expects sales to collapse 33% to less than 1.3 billion in the latest quarter as a result of lower customer traffic and reduced levels of inventory. And it also stated it is exploring actions including restructuring, debt refinance, selling assets, and filing for bankruptcy relief. I
Okay. I know you about to talk shit.
yo, real talk, Shy. I don't want to toot my own horn, but on God, I feel like I did this.
Yeah, and if so, I am angry with you.
Yo, all I did was pull the veil off of this shit, okay? I revealed the truth of this terrible business,
The
okay?
only
The
thing
people
you
knew.
the only thing you revealed was that you don't like, cute gadgets. You don't like gadgets. Yeah, that's all. You don't like weird little things for the kitchen and home.
You
That's all
damn
you
right.
revealed.
All I want is functional shit, Shy, okay? I want things I actually need, okay?
It's
All right?
all functional, you just didn't realize that you needed it.
Nah,
That's
B.
that's what they were that's really what they trafficked in.
I don't want uneven cutting boards, okay? Keep that shit. Calling it authentic or artisanal. No, it's trash, B. Okay? Y'all make
Okay.
horrendous products, okay?
Look, let me tell you something. I was in Atlanta for a week, and I had to get my sister's place together, and one of the things that I did was I hung some stuff up in her apartment, including a hook in her bathroom, and I had no hooks. And there was one spot that was a good spot for it, but she used one of those adhesive hooks,
Okay.
and it's in the bathroom. It got humid. The whole thing fell down within like hours. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like those adhesive things. I'm gonna have to put a hole in the wall. And so I was like, this should be easy. Let me just run out to Target and get just a hook, just a simple hook that I have to apply with a screw
Yeah.
or a nail or something. Um, so I walk around. Well, first I go to like Lowe's or Home Depot, one of these places, because I had to get other stuff. And I'm like, "Ugh, a hook. How hard is a hook? It was only adhesive hooks, nothing that, or it was a claw hook for like a cherry picker or something. And I was like, you don't have a simple hook that I can just nail into the okay. And
My boat's not getting away from me, okay? I'm
right.
trying to hang up clothes.
And I went in the Target and they also didn't have any simple hooks. Everything was like above the door hooks, which normally I love, but we had already tried that. I had already gotten one of those and it didn't work for her bathroom door. It did work for another door. So we're using it just somewhere else. I did a lot of work in her apartment. Anyway, I go in, I'm like, well, I'm in the shopping center with everything. Let's go into this Bed Bath and Beyond. I walked in, and let me tell you something. The tumbleweed that knocked me over when I first walked in, it was so empty and my heart hurt. And I just went, Gastor. It was so empty. But you know what? Guess who had the hook? Guess who had a fucking hook? I was like, here it is. And this is
Listen,
why I love this place.
that whole
'Cause
store should be a basket at the front of a better store. Okay? That's all. Bed Bath and Beyond should just be the
Yo,
misfits of the front of the Target store that you go into for better shit. That's all
that
Bed Bath and Beyond is.
that is perhaps the funniest thing I've ever heard you say. And I think you are hilarious, and I love all your material. But that Bed Bath and Beyond should be the basket in the front of a better store? Bruh. That is so funny.
I appreciate it. It is
Oh my
sincere.
god.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You really are not wrong.
Oh man, I've never been happier to see a business come to the ground
Wow, that's
burning.
so mean.
I
That's so
hope
mean.
it disappears, B.
But where am I gonna get more paper shades for my window? The paper window shades. There's so many of those. Or a little thing to snuff out my candles. That was the only place that had them. I don't understand. Where else am I gonna get only one pillowcase of, I think, a sloth? I don't know. What am I gonna do?
Burn. It should all go, okay?
Oh,
Nobody
man.
needs it, all
And
right?
they hardly had any, like, product too, which was very weird because they usually were packed to the gills, but there was hardly any product. There was no one in there. And, like, even employees, I just came up with my hook. There was no line. The girl was just
Just take
on
it.
her phone, and she looked at me, and then she looked down, and she looked up again like, "Oh, shit, a customer," and put her phone down, and I'm like, "Oh, wow."
It doesn't make sense, B. Why are you asking for my email, my G? Okay?
To
This
send
thing that I
you
need, I only need this one time, okay? I will
to send
never
you
again
more
need this thing in life,
coupons.
okay?
I think it was the coupons because those things never expired, and that's probably what happened. Someone probably came in there,
Straight
like,
up.
3 months ago
40, 50
with
racks worth of coupons.
yeah, they're just like, "They don't expire, huh?" And it's like, "No, but the company does. The company will expire before those
Real talk.
coupons will."
I'm telling you. You going watch sometime in February, you're gonna see an article about Shalewa buying all their inventory for $17. It's gonna be crazy.
I
Okay.
mean,
She
if
gonna
it's good
own like
stuff.
45,000 pallets of mismatched furniture, random pillows that nobody needs. Okay. Some
You
stupid
always
shit.
need a pillow. I'm sad to see it go,
All these
but
freaking non-sliced products. I see you. No, these pillows are different because it only has feathers from the left wing of an ostrich. Whatever the fuck. Like, it's stupidness, B. That store is ridiculous, yo. Like,
Yo,
why is that? Yo, and oh God, I know that's a real product somewhere in that store.
if you've ever wanted to see manifesting at work, here it is. Gastor has just manifested the
Real
closing
talk.
of Bed Bath& and Beyond, so send
Hope
all hate mail to him.
Bring it on, B. I hope it burns. It's gonna smell beautiful like the
Like all the
180
candles.
candles that they got inside that place. It's the one good thing I'm looking forward to. The aroma of the pleasant victory coming out of Gateway Mall and all the other places that got one. I can't wait. All right. I hope they burn in unison. All right. Be gone. Okay. To the beyond
Wow.
that you came from. We don't need
Wow.
you.
Wow,
Okay.
okay. I can't with you. Next story. You're being mean. Next story.
In other news, Florida burglary suspects arrested after calling 911 to help move their belongings. The call came from inside the robbery. A pair of alleged burglars were arrested in Florida last week after authorities say they called 911 for help moving their quote unquote their belongings from the residency they were robbing. After receiving a hang up 911 call around 6:55, the officers in Point Siena responded to a vacant home to find Martin Gonzalez Garcia and his girlfriend Ashia Liz Roldan Oscasio in the middle of a robbery. Gonzalez Garcia's 23 was quickly identified as the suspect in a break-in at a nearby Dollar Tree the previous night. Yo, at least he working. He was
That's not the same. That's not the same.
he was initially pointed out on surveillance footage by the store manager who recognized him as a customer who asked about a cell phone and a job application. He trying, yo. Gonzalez Garcia's may be like the dumbest person on the face of the earth, Judge said. Both Gonzalez Garcia's and Roldan Oscasio were taken into custody and confessed to the burglaries. When asked about the 911 call, Roldan Ocasio said she was hoping a deputy would help the couple move their belongings from the site and drop them off at the airport where they plan to head to New York. Oh my God. Yo, I love when criminals like get a little too smart. They
Hold on.
trying.
So wait. So his girlfriend thought the cops will help us move our stuff. Not that it's their stuff, but she thought that just in general, if you need help moving, you
Yo,
could call 911 and someone would come out and help you move your things.
I don't
Because
know, B.
that sounds like a child that's been left behind. Like, what are we teaching? What are we teaching the children if they think that's what you call 911 for?
Real
For
talk.
help moving?
I know they help, but that ain't it. Like that's not the
Mm-mm.
help they providing at all. And she found out the hard way. Okay.
I guess so. That's wild. I mean,
I
that is
mean,
wild.
you know, not everybody's smart, shot. You know, it just is what it is. Like we gotta accept that sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're not
you
wrong.
know what I mean? Like I told you in when I first this might be saying too much about myself. I should pull back on this. I don't
Oh,
know.
it's too late now.
Yeah, right. I when I first started having sex, I
Okay, don't
remember
pull back, pull back.
pull
No, I'm
back.
just kidding. No. Okay, when you first started, go ahead. When you first started.
I remember always like asking girls what their grades were. Cause like I knew that there was a chance we could have a baby, and I didn't want to be like arguing with someone about how to raise a kid, or like also I didn't want to like have to be like teaching my kids something that came easy to me and be frustrated about it. You know, like, and I think whenever like stuff like this comes up, you know, like robberies like this, I think like, yo, that's the dude that just he didn't do the work. You know, one of the two of them is the brains, and one of them isn't.
Okay. All right.
You know,
Well,
like I
I
feel confident that like if I had a stupid idea of robbing something, my partner
mhm,
is smart enough to be like, nah, that's a dumb idea, and that's
mhm.
why we together. You know, I found someone equal or better that could drag me to the right thing.
Okay, well, my issue or a couple of things. For First of all, I had a joke about, wanting to hook up with someone, uh, based on a Craigslist ad because they spelled "your" correctly. They used the correct version of "your."
Nice.
Um And I was like, I mean, that person's smart, which I hope because I would have had their kid or something like that. So that's what I thought of. Um, but also, what happens if all of your um choices or suggestions are dumb? And your smarter partner is like, "Nope, that's stupid. Nope, that's a bad idea too. Nope, don't do that." Um, don't you worry that that person is eventually going to leave you because you are entirely too dumb? Aren't they?
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
then you kinda need to be with someone who's on your level of dumb or dumber,
okay.
but is still supportive. But, I mean, that doesn't bode well for anybody who, like, doesn't want 2 idiots stealing from their house Home Alone style, but
I
oh, I
guess.
wonder if that's where she thought it would happen was because of Home Alone.
Oh.
I never saw the movie, I don't know but I know that the cops didn't really do anything in the movie, and so I wonder if she's like, "I bet they'll help us."
Yeah, nah, they terrible in that movie. Yo. Huh.
Hmm. Anyway, uh, yeah, I basically, when I, started having sex, I would ask for the last name of the person I was having sex with just so if I needed to find them for legal reasons, I could.
We all got our requirements, okay? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, it's not much.
That's it.
I should have asked more questions, but I thought the main one was, "What's your last name?"
Hey, listen. You got 85 and up, we good. In other news, Wells Fargo sacks India executive for urinating on plane passenger. That's right. That sentence kept escalating. Wow. Okay. Uh, U.S. banking giant Wells Fargo on Friday sacked top Indian executive, now being pursued by police for allegedly urinating on a fellow passenger aboard an Air India flight. Shankar Mishra, who local media reports said was the VP of the bank's India operations, was terminated after a 72-year-old woman wrote to Air India's management to complain about the November incident. Wells Fargo holds employees to the highest standards of professional and personal behavior, and we find these allegations deeply disturbing. This individual has been terminated from Wells Fargo, it added, without naming Mishra or specifying his position. The bank said that they were cooperating with law enforcement and asked that any additional inquiries be directed to them. Mishra, who was reportedly drunk, during the journey from New York to New Delhi on November 26th, has been on the run from authorities after the airline lodged the criminal complaint. Police in Delhi said the accused was still at large and that they had been in contact with his family. But in a statement released by his lawyers and reported by the local media, Mishra said that he had already settled the matter by compensating the woman at the time of the incident. Yo, this is out of pocket.
Yeah, you think?
Yo, my man
Okay.
peed on a woman
Mhm,
on a plane
mhm.
and he threw some dollars at her and thought,
Right. I
yo,
thought
nah,
they
we
were
good.
gonna be good.
Yo, my bad. How much you think is the dry cleaning on that? Okay. Yeah, it's $70. That's crazy, my G. VP of Wells Fargo out here peeing on people on planes and
Wow.
settling it with out of pocket money. Mm-mm.
I wonder how it even got to this. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like how do
how
you
did
get
he
to
end
peeing on
up
somebody?
yes, right. How does that happen?
You gotta
Because
assume
that's
it's
not explained.
right. Like this isn't like yeah, you can't accidentally pee on somebody. So this is purposeful.
Yeah, yeah, unless they are sitting on your lap, you can't just at whoopsie,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? So, I wonder if this was just like, he was drunk and thought he was in the bathroom, but he actually was just standing next to this woman? Like,
Oh
was he
my
just
God. This
stumbling down
poor
the
lady.
aisle and then he just whipped his dick out and started peeing on or if this was like a malicious thing, like I think is what happened on the J train, a few years ago, there was a guy who peed on someone was peeing on someone's face as it was the middle of the night and this person had dozed off on the J train and they woke up because a guy was peeing on their face.
Oh.
So this isn't uncommon. That's what I'm saying, everybody.
Yo, so Now I'm really stumped about this because he
Mhm.
had to pee on her in a way that it was clear she was getting peed on, but yet
Mhm.
not clear to anyone else.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Right?
don't
Because like
know.
if you're a passenger on, like if I'm on that flight, I don't need to be getting peed on to complain about somebody peeing on somebody. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like as soon as I'm off that flight, yo, why ain't y'all stop that dude peeing on that lady? Like that would disturb my ability to watch fucking
Or, I
reruns of
mean,
a show.
yeah, I feel like someone would see that.
Yeah, like that's gonna be news on the flight. You can't pee
Mhm.
on somebody on the low on the plane.
You can't you can't pee on somebody on the low. Let me mark that down just in
That
case
is,
y'all
yo,
forget.
you know what I'm saying? Like that is noticeable.
That's true. That's
Yo,
very yeah.
that's a very like clear action. At the very least, like the 2 rows near it had to
Yeah.
see that. You know what I'm
Or
saying?
yeah, whoever was on the adjacent row or the 2 rows yeah, 2 rows around it, the surrounding
Rows, yeah.
perimeter, yeah, for sure.
You gotta see that. That's too wild. As soon
And
as
it's
someone stands up to like do anything on the flight, I'm already looking up to make sure they don't steal or mess with my bag. You know what I'm saying? So like this dude is up here standing so long that he could pee on a lady and
I
nobody
mean,
else brings it up.
I truly I just I wonder how it came to this, but that is terrible if he did it and then was just like, "Here's here's some money."
Yo, my bad.
Yeah, oopsie, and then just sat down.
Yo, the
And
disrespect.
that he's on the run. What a thing to be on the run from. You work at Wells Fargo,
Straight up.
one of the most corrupt banks out there, and I know this because 'cause I've been banking with them since, like, '91. I've been banking with them my whole adult life, and, so, I know what they're capable of, and and you on the run because you peed on somebody,
Yo.
which,
You
I mean, honestly, that could be, like, the how you get the job of VP at Wells Fargo.
yo, right?
Who have you, like, you know, debased? Who have you
You can't sit at this table and let you pee on 3 people minimum,
right.
okay?
Yeah.
Big
I
dogs
mean,
only.
if you're not opening up accounts in people's names without them knowing it, you have to have at least peed on 3 people on a plane.
Come on, B. We got standards.
Yeah, you know?
That's what's tripping me up about this too. Like, this can't be the first time you peed on somebody because he already knew what to do. Like, no, I settled that. Like the other ones, you know, what I mean? I gave him money. Like he's not even a big deal in his life because you don't
Mm,
become VP like off of like a LinkedIn listing. Like that's a job you built up to over your career.
okay.
You know what I mean? That takes like ambition. That takes like that's a career goal. Like, yo, you've been
Mhm.
working at least 15 years in finance.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like whatever whatever vices that you have in your life, you've had them, you know?
Okay, so you're saying my man probably has already
He's
peed
been
on
peeing
people.
on people for years,
Yes, he's paid to pee on people,
easily.
definitely.
In fact, I would bet money that he's told other Wells Fargo's exec about it. Like, yo, over dinner,
Oh,
yo,
yeah, no,
y'all peed
there's
on six people this week, man. It's
yeah,
crazy.
no, there's definitely a a group chat
Straight up. Like, yo,
of just,
you
like,
haven't peed on nobody?
suggestions, yeah, of who to go to
Yeah.
who will allow you to pee on them,
I'm
like,
telling you. He's been
which
doing this for years. This is how he gets all maybe this is how he gets ready for meetings. It ain't even a sexual thing. It's just like it helps him clear his head, you know?
what?
He like, listen, I don't feel right until I pee on somebody. I didn't get a chance to see my people. So I'm sorry. Here's some money. Hope you
I am
understand.
I am very concerned with what you think happens in the C-suite of banks.
I real talk, like I know I promise I'm not that far off. Like I
I
feel
think
I'm way more like on the money on this guest than like usual.
yeah, that
Uh
is terrifying. That is terrifying. That you might actually be very dead on.
Yo,
It's
straight
very
up. I think
scary.
this dude's been peeing on people for years. This is his stress relief. This is how he establishes himself as alpha. He's probably going back on his flight to like set shit straight. peed on somebody because he needed to get ready for the meeting, get focused. You know what I mean?
Yikes.
And now this shit goes down, and he can't walk it back. But it's been like, that's probably why he's so bothered. Like, he's like, y'all paid her. I peed on other people. Y'all pee on people too. Why y'all making it out about me? You know, like, he pissed off because nobody's backing him up. He's like, we've all peed on people. We peed on people together, Greg. You know? You know what? I feel sorry for the 72-year-old lady, sincerely. But Mr. Mishra, like, you know, you don't deserve this on your own. Okay?
No,
Take
not
down
at
all of
all.
Wells Fargo, you know? Call out all these fellow peers, okay?
All your peers. I am so sorry. I am
Oh,
so
man.
sorry, listeners. I cannot apologize to you enough for what I have done. I have brought shame upon myself and my family with a peers joke.
You know, it was really great is that Shy's more ashamed about that joke than Mishra
Than
is
that dude
about
was.
peeing on that lady.
Yeah, for sure. He's like, I'm gonna keep peeing. I don't know what y'all worried about.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna mention on the next job interview too. Oh, yeah. Get up front about this, you know? In other news, a group of local deer put out a hit on a woman's inflatable reindeer. What? Uh, Sometimes I add articles and forget what the hell I added, and this is a fun one. Here we go. Evidently, in Brooks Miller's Austin, Texas neighborhood, there's only room for a select fellow local deer, and apparently, her adorable reindeer decorations aren't among them. Huh? Okay. After Miller put up an inflatable reindeer neatly in place in her front yard, she began noticing something odd was happening. Each day, when Miller would wake up and look outside, she could tell that someone had messed around with her decorations while she slept. I'd been curious why our inflatable reindeers were disheveled every morning. My neighbor found the culprit, and it was better than we could have ever imagined. Miller's neighbor caught the perpetrators on video, which it seems a pair of local deers, or deer toughs as referred to in the article, didn't take too kindly to the presence of Miller's reindeers, and they appear to have it out for them. So there's like video footage of real deers attacking and beating up inflatable reindeers that were in front of this lady Miller's home.
Okay, I don't know. Beating up is, I mean, attack is fine, but beating up makes me think they're using like brass knuckles or something. They're not running on them with,
They ain't get the
they're just,
people's elbow? Nah, nothing.
no, not the yeah, no, it's not exactly like that.
Bruising all of your noses. Everybody got a red nose now, okay?
Yeah.
Let's get it. Gang, gang.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. She said that most importantly, the inflatable deer are unharmed. They pop right back up post run in. And that's not, I don't know if that's important. I mean, I feel like that may be like destroying the psyche of the local deer who are just like, who are these fucking, where do they come from?
Yo, they don't die.
We beat them down a night, and then we walk back by here in the afternoon. These motherfuckers are still standing.
They back.
Who are they?
3 deep
Yeah.
every time, yo.
This may be very terrifying for the local deer. They got to be questioning their virility now and just like, I don't understand it. I've knocked over small trees. I've scared rabbits. I've cars stop when I stand on the road to eat. Like, but these idiots, we knock them down every night and they just come back up. Who are they? What's their secret?
I just got like a really depressing, like emo deer story in my head. That's like why deers like off themselves and like run in front of cars.
I mean,
They couldn't be
yeah, if they're just like, I mean, if I can't fight an attack on my home,
you know what I mean?
What good am I? now we've got deer.
He just walks out to the highway.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that did get darker than I thought it would. But
Oh man, that is, I promise you, you don't want to give me money. That is an animated short that I would fully get made. Oh man. In other news, lawyers for Dr. Dre tell Marjorie Taylor Greene to stop using his music. That's right. Lawyers
Mhm.
for rap legend Dr. Dre are demanding that Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene stop using her music after the controversial politician used the hit "Still DRE." I don't license my music to politicians, especially someone as divisive and as hateful as her, Dre said in a statement. Green, who represents a district in Northeast Georgia, has promoted the far right and basis conspiracy theory QAnon. And in February of 2022, she spoke at a white nationalist event. In December, she said she would have won the January 6th Capitol attack. Wow. Okay. Yo, you ever like just be reading something and it's just like, what the fuck did I just say out loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
If she had planned it with former Trump aide Steve Bannon, which earned a rebuke from the White House as well as the Democratic lawmakers. The letter from Dre's attorney, Howard King, dated on Monday, demands that Green immediately cease and desist from using Dre's music. The letter says she has been using it on social media. One might expect that as a member of Congress, you would have passing familiarity with the laws of our country. It's possible, though, that the laws governing intellectual property are a little too arcane and insufficiently populist for you to really have spent much time on them. We're writing because we think an actual lawmaker should be making laws, not breaking laws, especially those embodied in the Constitution by the founding fathers.
Okay.
Yo,
That's wow. Yeah. I mean, those were a lot of big words that she probably still didn't understand.
real talk, be unnecessary, but I fuck with it though.
Well, yeah, I like the energy, but you arcane means nothing to her. Like, also, all of this is just gonna roll like water off a duck's back. You know what I mean? Like, she's just like, "What's the problem?" Because I feel like I came across this story somewhere this week, and I think her response was just like, I would never use Dr. Dre's music. I don't even know. I would never use his song." And it's like, "No, but you did." Like, not that you would never, you already did. Like,
Hmm.
like you had to pull it already because you were already used it. And I forget, still DRE. Is M on that one? Is Eminem on that one?
No, that is the Jay-Z ghost written song that features Snoop Dogg.
Is
Um,
that "Hitting Them Corners and Them Lolos, Girl"?
yeah, there you go.
Okay, alright. I love that you mentioned that Jay-Z. Yeah, we did not think Dr. Dre was, writing any of his stuff. We know. It's either Jay-Z or it's Nas or it's Kendrick or it's Snoop. It's whoever he's rapping with in the moment
There you go.
or working with in the moment. We do know. I know how ghostwriting works. Come on. Get out of here.
I
I
like mentioning
remember.
Brooklyn whenever possible. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Loon was ghostwriting for Diddy. What are we gonna do?
Oh yeah. Poor Loon. Where's that dude?
I is he in prison?
He were really? Possibly. There was
He
a
may
few of
be
them
out.
dudes. I know the other guy was the Take This Money dude.
Who was that? John Forte? Not John.
No, he was in jail too, but not he was
But
in
he's
jail
out.
because yeah, he's out now. But he was the Fuji affiliate in jail.
Yes. He's like on tour. I just saw that that John Forte is doing a show somewhere, and I went, "Oh, wow. Okay."
Now I know there was like there was Black Rob, there was and then there was two guys that sounded
Mm.
like Black Rob. Um
Oh.
G Dep.
Mm. G-Dep.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's in jail. But he's in jail for like honorable reasons. Like
How w
he
like what?
kinda like he has like
Wait, he stole bread to feed to a family? What
nah
did he
nah but
do?
he did like a robbery and killed someone years ago, got
Mhm.
famous, had
Mm.
kids, and like felt like weird about like being a man and shit and like telling his kids to live honorably, and he
So
wasn't.
he
So
to
he
he
confessed
turned
to it.
himself in, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So like,
yeah.
you know, that's kind of like wild, but you know, if it cleanses his soul, you know what I mean? I'd have stayed
Yeah.
out, my G, but
Uh,
but
um,
respect.
Loon was in prison for 8 years, and he got out 2 years ago.
Welcome back, Loon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I guess welcome back. I believe he's Muslim now, which, I
Okay.
mean, duh, of course he is. Um, yeah, yeah. Oh, he was released early because of the COVID
Oh,
situation.
that's the
When they were
COVID.
letting folks out, he
Yo, that's what's up. You see, you can't say COVID ain't do something good out there. You know what I mean? That's what's up, baby.
Loon.
Yeah, shouts to COVID for hiring retrogrades publicists right there. You know what I mean? Make a quick comeback.
Oh, wow.
You got Loon out of jail. That's
Wow.
what's up, baby.
We are really on top of your, mid-level rap news. Mid-level 90s rap news. We are on top of it.
Yo, low key, that sound like a beat Loon and G Dep would have rapped on too.
I started Harlem Shaking to it. It was a special delivery remix.
Oh yeah, Pop City, live it up. That should sound like that.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, it was hair on. He had a kilo of hair on him.
Not bad.
So,
you know what I mean?
yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
There you
COVID,
go.
on, bring him back out.
Why
Anyway,
not?
yeah, that's enough out of me and Loon. Okay.
Finally, the NYPD is searching for 3 suspects who stole $300,000 from Brinks trucks in Brooklyn. That's what's up. 3 men are on the run for stealing $300K from an armored truck. The reports on the incident took place in Sunset Park on Friday afternoon. According to the NYPD, the Brinks truck driver was making a delivery at a Chase Bank at 5423 8th Ave around 1 p.m. when 2 of the suspects asked the Brink employee for directions. A third individual used the distraction to steal the bag of cash sitting on the bumper of the armored truck.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yo, shots to Brooklyn, baby. I love it.
This isn't just Brooklyn. This is a New York thing. This is these guys did the research, because if there's anything that a New Yorker cannot, like, turn down, it's the opportunity to give someone directions.
Yo.
New Yorkers live for that shit. They live for it. They love it. They stop whatever they're doing. They plant their feet. They cock their hip to the side and they say, here's what you're going to want to do. And now, and I mean, like, because New York directions are not just like, oh, yeah, I think it's over that way or something or whatever. It's just like, you want to get in the first 2 cars of the train. Like, it's too detailed. My man forgot that he was at work and that his job is carrying large amounts of money.
Yo, I got directions like in a like it infuriated me this week. Freaking
Why?
Cause like it was so illogical. Like my dad had like one of his like workers come help me out with my fridge the other day. So he fixes my fridge, whatever, and he asks me for if I have some W40 to like so you could polish up the fridge. And like I'm like, nah, I don't got any. I was like, but I'll order that on Amazon. And he's like, yo, why you gonna do that when you can get it from the hardware store? You just gotta make it's like 7 blocks away from here. I'm like, and then he starts giving me directions to the hardware store. And I'm like, homie, like that sound way harder than just like ordering on my phone. And he's like, nah, but you just make 4 lefts. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, homie, like this is craziness right now, B. And like my frustration level is like it comes off like I end up more curt because like he's talking to me in Spanish. And like I don't have sarcasm in Spanish. I got like I can communicate only.
Right.
So like I know I'm coming off as a dick. And I'm trying not to because this is like one of my dad's people. So like I'm trying to be respectful, but like in my head, I'm like, you understand that this is stupid, right? You telling me to go somewhere and like find this place when I could just hit a button and it's just gonna show up at my house.
Right. But didn't you need it right then?
I didn't need it at all. He was suggesting a nice thing, like a bonus thing for my fridge. You like get this and it'll make your fridge look nicer. I agree. I'm with it. That's not an emergency. Amazon will get it to me tomorrow. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, but you can just go right here to this random place you'll never need to go to ever again in your life.
That's a generational thing, you guys, you kids with your pushing buttons and having stuff delivered. I mean, in my day, I had to ride a goat into the town square to get my WD-40. I mean, look, let me tell you something. My roommate once went to one of the bodegas around here to get WD-40, and I was just like, "Oh, okay." And the guy was like, "Well, what do you need it for?" And Kevin told him what he needed it for. He was like, "Here, just use this and bring it back." And the guy let him use
As love. Hell yeah.
the store's I was like, they would have never done that to me. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
I hope you appreciate the white privilege you have in these bodegas out here. There's no fucking way.
I definitely get that from my bodega. My bodega
Yeah.
is giving me like freaking barbecues, like charcoal
Yeah.
and shit. He's like, yeah, go ahead, B. That's the
Yeah,
homies.
you absolutely could have gone to one of your local stores, one of the 2 or 3 that you frequent, and said, "Hey, let me use your," especially the one right downstairs, "Let me use your WD-40 right quick." And he'd be like, "I mean, all right." And then you'd be back.
That's
Like,
it.
you certainly did not have to take the route that your father's friend was giving, but there is a way, you may want to, for some fresh air, but
Nah, I'm good.
no.
Also, I was
Yeah.
frustrated because he was talking in Spanish and like
Mhm.
he was getting mad at me because I didn't know what WD-40 was the first like 2 times he said it. But it was because
Okay.
he was saying it in English, but in Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like he was
Mhm.
saying WD-40 in English,
Okay.
but with
But
a Spanish accent while talking
mhm.
in Spanish. So I'm trying to understand what like I'm hearing 40 and not hearing the number 40. I'm trying to understand what
Oh,
Spanish
okay.
word that was. And
Right,
he's
right,
looking at me
right.
like I'm crazy. And I'm like, nah, B, why don't you just say 40? Like that's what the number is, my G. And I would have been translating with you.
Right, right, right. So you were in I'm going from Spanish to English mode, and he
Yeah.
just threw some English at you, and you were like, "No, no, 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 you're
Yeah,
coming
yo,
up to work."
W de 40. That was what you were supposed to tell me. And I would have
Right.
translated to the English, but he threw an English word and he said it's so Spanish that I was convinced it was Spanish that I didn't know. I'm like, WD-40. Like, what Spanish word is that shit? Like, I was so like gone. Like, yo. Like, that's the only reason I was even considering going to this fucking like plumber shop that he's telling me about. Cause I'm like, I don't know how
It's
to
some
type that into
special
Amazon.
thing.
Yeah, that's
Right,
some
yeah.
Dominican oil shit that I don't know about. And then when like I finally like realized he was just talking English for that one phrase, oh my God, it was so frustrating.
Oh my goodness.
WD-40. Just why would you? And it's letters and numbers. You could definitely say that in Spanish. You know what I mean? Just say the phrase, say the name. It works.
That's so great. That's so great.
Oh man.
Oh my god. That's so funny. I can't. I can't.
If you would
Well
like for more of my father's employees to work with me, and translating things before they decide to tell me what they're saying. You know what I mean? We could
Mhm.
work together, okay?
More Spanglish. If you just want more Spanglish on the show.
All you gotta do is like and subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You don't appreciate the frustration that I just dealt with for the little bit of art that I provided for y'all. Okay? My day was worse yesterday, but it's better today, because
Mhm.
I get to reminisce on that fondly now. Okay?
Did
All
you
because of y'all.
order WD-40? Did you
I
order
did,
some?
but after like
Okay.
it took me like like 4 hours like afterwards to like really like decompress and realize what happened. Like I had like yo, that shit really messed with my head. I was like, this dude's giving me directions. He's talking to me in English, Spanish, English. Like I didn't know, like it was so confusing to me, yo.
Oh my
5 stars.
god.
You know what? 5 stars. I'm gonna go outside and poll other Spanish speaking people to see how they pronounce that bottle of
Oh,
liquor.
yeah, 5 stars. Definitely do that and come back with the results
Real
next
talk. I
week.
want to know if they're
I wanna
saying
know that.
WD-40 or if they're saying WD-40. Okay?
Or something
Or
in the
some,
middle.
yeah. Maybe there's a new I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm here to learn, baby. All right. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter or Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout outs this week to Diane Jolier, Lorenzo G, Brandy Spain, Nardi13, and Kimmy Marie. Appreciate all of y'all for sharing articles this week. With all that said, I am the soon to be owner of a shiny refrigerator blessed with WD-40. Okay? Gastor Almonte. Always with the soon-to-be slightly more fluent in very specific Dominican Spanglish, Shalewa Sharpe.
Slightly is anything at all.
She will know how to get WD-40 from a Dominican mechanic if she ever needs it. Okay? That very specific thing, she'll know how to say that. Okay? This has been a wild episode of the 4 Report. We've been all over the place, baby. Mercury retrograding. You know what to do out there. Catch y'all next time. Peace. Once the girls go cold.